Ever wondered how you can get a full keyword report from Google Analytics to see what keywords you're ranking for with your website? Today we're going to take a look at jumping into the Google Analytics to find out where you can get your keyword report from in order to see which pages you're ranking for, but also what we'll take a look at is how you can actually send yourself a weekly report. So every Monday, for example, I like to send myself a report on the website that breaks it up into 3 different areas, and I'll show you the 3 different areas that I like to grab my keyword reports for. Now this is really important from an SEO point of view, and it will help you prioritize your tasks and efforts when it comes to SEO to rank for particular keywords. So let's jump in and take a look how to generate the reports and find out where your search queries are within the Google Analytics platform.
Now, first of all, what we need to do is actually go into the SEO report. Now, as until last month, it used to be under acquisition and then search engine optimization, but Google changed this in May. The reason I know this is I used to run a weekly report, the keyword report for my client websites, but then all of a sudden it stopped. So what it's now called is we go under acquisition and then left click on search console and then left click on queries. Okay, now this will show you all the keywords that you're actually ranking for. Now what we can do, you can see we've got the search query, so content marketing Sydney as an example, then impressions, clicks, click-through rate, and average top position. Then what we can do is left click on average top position, and then we can see the bad rankings, that's way out of the top 100, and then we can see those that are on the front page as well. So what we can do now in order to get these reports and to narrow down to a little bit and make this actually useful for us is we can actually left click on advanced. Now in here what we can do is we can start to remove and include various search queries or other elements. So if, for example, I wanted to see all the pages, all the keywords that I was ranking for that are outside the top 10, so outside of the front page, I would simply left click on average top position, and I want it to be greater than, say, 10. So it needs to be greater than 10, and then I can left click on apply, and it will show me all those that are on the average position but outside the front page, so position 11 and on. Now as you can see there's 279 odd pages, keywords there, or search queries that we're actually ranking for. So you can go and you can have a look at all of those by clicking on that. Now the other thing just to notice, the average top position, let me just explain what it is. If you hover over this button here, it says the average ranking of your website URLs for the query or queries. For example, if your site's URL appears at position 3 on one query and position 7 for another query, the average position would be 5, or 3 plus 7 divided by 2. So hopefully that makes sense there. So this is a great way to find those that you're just not quite getting into the top 10. You're outside the top 10 and you might want to try and adjust those pages there. So as an example, if I go hiring a digital marketing agency, there's not many impressions there. So maybe I'd be better off going to something like, let's have a look at financial lead generation. If I were to copy that, go to Google, type in financial lead generation, let's have a look, see where we are. Okay, so there's a number of sites there. We're looking for Profile Booster is my website. So let's go on to page 2. There we go. So we're on page 11 there. So 13 of the best lead generation tools for financial services. Now this particular key phrase is financial lead generation. So what I could do, and this is a technique that I learned from one of the guys online, and I'll put the link to that gentleman's video. So he originally did it, but it's got the old way to actually find the search engine optimization, the queries part of it. So in this one, what we would try and do is find out if we've got financial lead generation in the, hang on, let's left click on this one here. We want to see if we've got it in things like the title, the description, and making sure that we've got it prominent within the page itself. So if we left click on that one there, we can see that the title, well, you can't actually see it, but it's 13 of the best lead generation tools for financial services. Financial lead generation. So I don't have that in the title, but that could be one that I could change. I could change the title of it in the meta tags, and if we have a look at the description, I could go in and right click and view the page source just to check the description, just to make sure I've got something along the lines of financial lead generation there, because it's getting 60 impressions and that's for position 11, so I'm obviously going to get a lot more impressions if I can rank on the front page there. So then what I'll do is I'd go through and just try and make sure I've tidied it up, maybe bold a few of those things like financial lead generation on the page itself, so we can get a little bit closer to the front page ranking there. So as you can see, that's a pretty handy little tool, and it's a quick way to do an SEO fix. Now what I actually do, let's say for example, let's just go and edit. So we've got the average top position greater than 10, but what I could also do is I could add a dimension, and I could say the average top position is less than, let's say 70 or something like that. Click on apply. So I want to look for all those key phrases that are actually between 10 and 70. Okay, and it gives me a number there of 223. So they're the probably focus ones there, and I could rank it according to impressions as well, just to make sure I'm focused on those that provide a bit of value there. So what you can then do is then left click on email, and then you put all the details in, you give it a new subject line so it actually makes sense to you. And I would do it weekly. I usually do an Excel sheet so I can then sort my tables within the Excel. You might like PDF or something like that, or whatever is comfortable for you. And then I do it weekly, and I also put a little bit of a comment in there just to know, just to give me an idea of what it is, because I do 3 reports. The 3 reports I do are all the keyword rankings with no filters. Okay, then I do the ones that are between 1 and 10. And then I do the ones that are between 10 and 100. So I like to know, get a bit of a feel for each of them, and I like to keep track of how many are coming through on a regular basis there. So hopefully that gives you a bit of an idea of how to use and find those search queries that you're actually ranking for, but often outside of the top 10, and you might need some push just to get them inside that top 10. Hopefully you find that helpful. Click on the reports, make sure you send yourself a report, and it's really interesting the type of information that keeps coming up. So if you like this video, please let us know. Please feel free to hit the like button or subscribe to our channel for more tips and tricks on how to boost the authority of your website. Thank you.